Hey everybody, hope you're all doing good today. Hey, I just wanted to take a second and sort of do a second part to the video I posted last week on how I felt electronic technology was basically taking the magic away of fishing. And first of all, I want to say that, man, this is, out of all the YouTube videos I've done, this is the one that has gotten by far the most response on it. Sort of went viral in that sense. And I've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments. You can go back through that video and you can check them out yourself. I've had a bunch of private messages over it, and 99%, at least, I'm going to say 98, 99% of all the comments I've got have been super supportive. Everybody agrees with what I'm saying. And I felt that they would, because there's really if you listen to the video, there's really not a lot to argue about with it. But the problem you had is those 2%, or the 1 or 2%. They're the ones that I'm not even sure if they listened to the whole video, and if they did, they just basically heard what they wanted to hear, and they missed the overall message of what I'm saying. First of all, I want to say that Monday morning I'm going to do a interview with Bass Talk Live. They want to do a topic. They want to do a segment with me on this particular post that I made, because it did get a lot of attention. A lot of people passionate about it. A lot of people agreeing with me on it. And but I sort of want to preface a little bit some stuff on there about how that 1 or 2% of the anglers out there have misinterpreted what it is. Because like I said, I don't even know if a lot of them have seen the whole video. First of all, I'm not against electronic technology. That's not what it's about. Everybody knows I'm working with Johnny Schultz with Fish the Moment. He offers advanced electronics courses. He's arguably, in my opinion, one of the top people in the United States that know how to use electronic technology, and he's just an absolute master and an expert at it. So I'm not against electronic technology. I was fishing offshore with flashers back in the late 80s and 90s at Grand Lake before anyone else was, and I know how to use it. I know how to use that technology. A lot of these people that have come back and criticized my opinion on it basically come back with the point saying that you're just a shallow water fisherman, and you guys that are against technology just don't know how to use it. That is not it at all. They're missing the entire point. They're not paying attention to what I'm talking about. They just basically read into it what they want to read into it. The entire point of what I'm talking about in this particular video that I want to clarify, and it can be clarified by listening to the video again, is that electronic technology and the costs of it are making an unlevel playing field in our sport. It's making it into an elitist type sport to some extent. And second to that, when I talk about how electronic technology is destroying the magic fishing, I'm talking about the fact that at what point do we say enough is enough as far as the advancements in this technology, to where it takes away that mystery that fishing offers us. Where it's to me, that's just one of the biggest attractions that fishing has. There's that element of the unknown, and so I'm not attacking the technology. I'm attacking the fact that at some point, there has to be some limitations on this particular technology, and particularly if the prices continue to go up on it like they are. And we'll go over this. I'll talk about this more in the interview on Bass Talk Live Monday. But here's my main point of contention on this for a lot of the critics out there that have come up on it. There was one angler out there that I highly respect. I've got a lot of respect for him, but he made a direct rebuttal on his YouTube channel, which he has a huge following, not directly pointing out what I said, but it was directly related to what I said. And he was basically saying that you need to use every advantage that you possibly can, and that we don't want a level playing field, and that's not the point of it. And while I respect this angler tremendously, I totally disagree with that, because once you start creating an unlevel playing field financially, that in essence, when the sport becomes an elitist sport. And bass fishing, that's not what it is about. Fishing is not about becoming an elitist sport, and once it gets to that point, it does. Now, if you want to argue the point of like, okay, we're going to move forward with this technology and that you need to use every advantage that you can in fishing and there's nothing off the table, nothing off limits, I'll go back to my original argument on my first post. If you want to allow $50,000 worth of electronics on a boat, fine. Okay, at the same time, take away every rule that there is that limits me or other anglers like myself that want to do it, shallow water options. Let us get out of the boat anytime we want to pull our boat in shallow water. If we want to drag it over an inch of water, let us do it. If we want to hire a helicopter for $50,000 to pick our boat up out of the water and set it down on an area of the lake that we can't access, let us do it. Don't put that limitation on it. If we want to use a 14-foot flat bottom boat with a 5 horsepower motor on it, as long as we got a kill switch and an aerated well on that boat, let us do it. If I want to carry a chainsaw on my boat to access, an area to get, back into shallow water, let me do it. If I want to carry gas in my boat to run 100 miles one way, let me do it. As of now, every one of those things that I mentioned are illegal in the tournaments. Yet it's legal for somebody, if he wants to have $50,000 worth of electronics on their boat, it's completely legal. So, there's a hypocrisy that goes with that way of thinking that, I just totally don't agree with on that. But anyway, like I said, we'll talk about it more Monday. But I just want to clarify that, for the people that, have seen that video and just sort of, they want to twist it into something that it's not. Because, like I said, I want to reaffirm the fact I'm not against electronic technology. I think that, I think there should be a limit on where it goes in tournament fishing as far as what can be used in tournament fishing. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. Here's an example that I'll use, and I'll probably use Monday. Let's say professional bowling for an example. Say somebody developed a bowling ball that they had this high-tech bowling ball that when you released it, it automatically doubled your rev rate, and it had the ability to pick up different oil patterns on the lane where you got down there and 95% of the time you got a strike. But this bowling ball costs $300,000, and it's legal in the tournaments. So all these bowlers out there that can afford $300,000, they go buy this particular bowling ball. They're dominating the sport, while the people that can't, they struggle. So that's what I'm saying on that is you have to look at it in that terms. Is when does this electronic technology and the cost of it start, basically morphing the sport into an elitist sport where it comes from that side? And regardless of what anyone says, people say, well, they try to make excuses a lot for, affording it or not affording it. Everybody can't afford that. People out there with families and normal jobs and mortgages and child care payments, daycare payments, so they can't go out and they can't tell their wives, hey, honey, I'm going to go out and spend $25,000 next week, so I can get my boat set up with 5 graphs on it. They can't do that. That's not even realistic. So, like I said, that's one of the things I wanted to address. We're going to cover that more Monday. But like I said, basically what we're talking about here, there has to be some balance. You're not going to stop technology. I'm not arguing that fact. And like I said, electronics have brought a lot into the sport that have made it, it has opened our eyes to a lot of different things. But that being said, you have to find that balance between technology, and I'm a total pro-science, pro-technology person. I am, I highly respect science and technology, but the thing about it is you have to balance that. If you're going to have, some of this high-tech equipment coming in, there has to be a point of which you say that, okay, hey, this is getting a little bit too much, and this maybe not be the direction we want to go. And like I said, and if you decide, ultimately the tournament organizations are the ones that have to make this decision, because they're the ones that can limit it or choose not to limit it. But if you do that, if you say, hey, we don't care, we're going to move forward big time with, and there's no limits on electronic technology, then fine. You know, take our gloves off. Take the shallow water anglers out there that are being handicapped by the rules now. Get rid of all those rules. Make the playing field level, and you know, we'll see where it goes from there. So what do you got there? You guys good? Okay, say hi. Hi. Okay. So anyway, just like I said, tune in Monday. We're going to be on Bass Talk Live. We'll talk a little bit more about it. And if you haven't seen the video, go back and check it out. And you know, shoot me your comments, give me your opinion on that. And like I said, this is the one thing I want to leave you with on there. And this is sort of the thing about social media. It's like there are some people out there that they don't have the ability to focus on the message. They feel like they have to attack the messenger, which is really weak. Everything that's on social media, man, if you don't agree with it, that's fine. You can either scroll past it, or you can get on there and you can intelligently and rationally debate that issue for what it is. But man, to go on there and criticize the messenger for bringing up something like that, that's not where we want to go, and that just doesn't show a good side of human behavior. So anyway, thanks again for tuning in all. We'll be back later with another video. Tune in Monday to Bass Talk Live, and we'll go over this a little bit more detail. See ya.